Vietnamese noodle salads, the bun, are really tasty. And this one here is with char-grilled pork. And the pork is cooked with, your soy and your fish sauce, and that savoury, sweet, sort of garlicky flavour really sort of jumps out. What you want is a nice char on that pork. The rest of it is really classic, your pickled carrot, mooli, daikon, and then your noodles to go with that. Toss it all together, dig in. My shallots have been soaked in hot water for about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes will do. And that just helps to peel the shallots easily. Everything for the base flavor for the marinade, so your shallots, garlic, spring onion, just needs to be finely chopped. So I've got my shallots, my garlic, my spring onion, all here. I'm gonna set up the rest of my marinade. So I'm gonna go for 2 tablespoons sugar, fish sauce, and either Thai sweet soy or ketchup manis, the Malaysian sweet soy sauce. You can see that treacle, sticky texture of that sweet soy. Give that a good mix around. And it's got quite sticky finish to it. If you have plenty of time, then you can leave or cover your pork and leave it in the fridge overnight to marinate. But with that stickiness and that strength of that sweet soy and the fish sauce, you can pretty much roast this straight away. Now I've got this big lump of pork here. I'm just gonna cut this in half. You can use pork shoulder. Well, this is actually pork collar or pork neck. And then we're gonna pour that marinade over the top of the meat. All this time I've kept one hand clean so I can still do little things like take pinches of seasoning. So I've got some salt and black pepper mixed together here, which I'm just gonna rub over the top as well to flavor that meat. And what I love about this type of cooking is, other than this marinade around the pork, which is kind of the main event, we've got your pickled veg and then noodles, but everything, once it's all mixed together, it's really, really simple, but there's so much sort of lingering flavor that you just want to keep eating it. Once that's well rubbed around, then I've got the oven on 210, so relatively high, 210 degrees C. I'm gonna pop that in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, turning every 10 and giving it a little baste. Whilst your pork's cooking, we've got plenty of time to make up your pickles and get your vegetables and noodles ready. So the pickle is really quite simple. I've got some daikon or mooli here, along with some finely matchsticked carrots. I'm gonna make up quick pickle with some sugar, salt, and rice vinegar. And if you need, you can use a bit of water as well, but you will get water that sort of comes out of the vegetables once it's been sitting in that solution. And it really is as simple as that. You can leave this in a seal-tight container in the fridge and it'll just get more and more sweet and sour. So my pork's got a really lovely char around the edges, which is exactly what I want. Let that rest for 10 minutes or so before you sort of start slicing into it. And that gives us time to set up and compile the noodle dish. Over this side, I've got some Vietnamese rice vermicelli. You do get all different types of rice vermicelli. It's essentially rice, any sort of rice noodle is made up of rice flour and water as the main components. It's a thicker, sort of more spaghetti-like rice vermicelli that I've picked here for my noodle salad. The thinner ones, which you'd use for like mee siam or Singapore noodles, are really, really very thin. These ones look more like this when you buy it. And that just needs to be boiled for about 3 to 4 minutes before then being dunked in some cold water. So the noodles are done. I mean, there's loads of flavor in the marinade and the sauce that your meat's been cooking in anyway. But in sort of Vietnamese cooking, you'd always have your sort of lime, fish sauce, dressing on the side for any dish, really. So I've got some finely chopped garlic and some red chili, some lime juice. I'm just going to squeeze into this. Then to balance out that sour. You can use caster sugar or palm sugar, either or. A good mix through, make sure that sugar dissolves well, and then top it with fish sauce. Nice and simple dressing, pour over the top of this salad. Really, you can use whatever veg you want. I've got a bit of lettuce here that I'm just gonna roughly chop up. Just pop that on one side. Pickle carrot and daikon here as well. Vietnamese style, you'd always have lots of fresh herbs on the table too. Got some fresh mint here just to keep it nice and simple. You can use coriander, you know, sawtooth coriander, basil, Thai basil, anything like that works too. My meat, great char on that. Then it's had a nice bit of time to rest, so I'm going to slice into that. And with this cut of meat, the pork neck or pork shoulder, you've got this lovely bit of marbling in between. So I've got my slices of pork, just fan them out a little. That one, just a little taster. It's nice to see the noodles sort of peeking out here. And then, as I say, worth using this extra basting sauce to go over the top. Ooh, now that is looking delicious. Slice of lime, and then my drizzling sauce to go with that, which I can just pour a little bit over the top like so. Lastly, a little bit of crushed peanut over the top. My warm noodle Vietnamese salad. And then let's see if I can get a bit of everything to try. Pickle. I'll get the pickle afterwards, otherwise I'll just look like a pig. There's quite a few components to this dish, but as you've seen, once the marinade is done and the pork's in the oven, the rest is really just compiling a salad. And that's what I love about the simplicity of Vietnamese food, but the flavors from the lime juice and then all the fish sauce in that marinade just married together so well. Great balance of flavors. If you like that sort of balance of flavor and touching all parts of your palate, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, ding, hit that notification bell. Enjoy your cooking.